Hello and welcome to the Divorce to Bliss podcast. Here you will learn all things related to healing from divorce, mind, body, and spirit, so you can create a beautiful new life filled with happiness. I'm Rachel Ruby, author of Divorce to Bliss, divorce coach, speaker, and attorney, and I'm so glad you. Hello and welcome to the Divorce to Bliss podcast. I'm Rachel Ruby. If you are watching and listening on YouTube, please subscribe, turn on notifications, like, comment, and share so that I can continue to bring you more great information. Today, we are going to be talking about the power of meditation for healing. And I've been wanting to do a podcast on this for a while, and I finally found the right person. So I am so excited. My guest is Radhika Mukhija. And she is not only a strong and beautiful woman, which of course I love having those types of women on my podcast, but she is a wellness mentor, a certified health coach, certified human potential coach, and a trained yoga teacher. She works with busy professionals to enhance their energy, improve their mental performance, and upgrade their lives. Radhika facilitates lifestyle changes with interventions that combine science-based information, techniques and tools with ancient wisdom. Love that. And she focuses on four areas: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So welcome to the podcast, Radhika. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you, Rachel. Excited to be here with you as well.
Yeah. So we're going to talk today about one of my favorite things, and that is meditation. And I personally could not have gotten through my journey healing from divorce without meditation. And it's such a huge part of my life to this day and always will be, because it really keeps me grounded and present and focused. And I just can't sing the praises of meditation enough. So we're going to jump in with the expert on meditation here. Why don't you first start by telling us, what is meditation for those who don't know or don't truly understand it, and how can it help with healing?
Sure. Like you just yourself started by saying that, you can't go a day without it because it helps you. It has so many benefits for you. That's exactly what it is. It's a very embodied and experiential practice. And, of course, I will get into the science of what actually happens in the brain when we meditate, because oftentimes when we talk to someone who hasn't had a meditation practice, they can relate to the science, and that makes them want to go and try it right away.
Right.
But simplistically saying, like you said, how you feel, the benefits, it's simply like just going into your mind, focusing on your mind, and therefore reaching this, deep states of relaxation. So your brain actually has these positive chemical changes in the brain waves, where we are just in those brain waves otherwise for fleeting minutes and seconds. But when the act of meditating and slowing down, we can, stay in those relaxed brainwave states for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
So that is, the simplest way to really describe what happens. And there are so many different ways one can meditate.
Yeah. And that's a great point too, because a lot of people think there's one way to meditate, and they think they have to, I have to clear my head of all my thoughts so that I can, and I hear this a lot, like, I can't do that. I can't clear my head. And so I think there's kind of a misnomer that in order to meditate, you have to be able to just clear everything out of your head, which there's ways to still focus on the relaxation technique of meditating without clearing the thoughts. So maybe can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So like I said, there are so many different kinds of meditation. And one of the ones that has been mostly researched is when we're talking about thoughts, is the mindfulness meditation, and which is basically that you're just focusing on, the present moment. You're focusing on whatever is coming and going. It's just being like fully aware of your surroundings. So it could be like, I'm having this cup of tea, and this is maybe perhaps the way I begin a mindfulness practice in the morning. When I have this cup of tea, I'm holding it with both my hands. And I'm slowing down. I'm not multitasking. I take a deep breath in and out, and I'm like marveling at the water, which I have in the tea, which was in the clouds earlier, and now it's in my cup. And there I have a moment of gratitude. And my breathing has slowed, and I'm mindful, and I'm going to now drink the tea.
I love that. I mean, that's just so simple, but yet so powerful. And that's one of my favorite times in the morning is making the tea and drinking the tea and just watching, kind of feeling the sun come up. And
right.
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about the science of meditation.
Yeah. So just what I explained was, one of the many different ways we can meditate. But what happens when we continuously do this for every day? Like there was a study that was published, and there's so many studies, but recently I was reading about this study that said that even meditating or doing a mindfulness practice like this for 13 minutes over a period of 8 weeks improved mood, our attention, our focus, and increased our resilience. So even if you had no prior meditation experience and you just made a consistent practice of starting from something that's really sustainable, 7 minutes, and then increasing it to 13 minutes, you will notice that there is this decreased sense of anxiety. So what actually is happening? So when we meditate, there is this whole activity happening in our limbic brain. And our limbic system, this limbic system in the brain, has different areas which get impacted with when we meditate. And what is actually happening has been studied through various MRI studies, and they have shown that it actually leads to this positive changes in the structure of the brain. Like how cool is that? Like even from the fact that, we have a fight or flight system in the brain, which is the amygdala, and that reduces its activities. So, if you are presented and like, for example, the important work that you do, if you've gone through a stressor like a divorce and any other stressor in your life, and then you tend to then react in a way that you're always in the fight or flight, or it's harder for you to get out of that state of your central nervous system being in that state. And that is where meditation can come in. So it reduces the activity in your amygdala, and it increases the higher order brain activities and the prefrontal cortex. And also, with continuous practice, it also increases your gray matter. So you're becoming more focused and cognitively, enhancing your decision-making skills, improved attention, the way you regulate your emotions. So if you are lingering in those ruminating thoughts after what you've gone through, a major transition in your life, a practice of meditation will help you sort of ease out, to manage that resiliency, coming back into a state of homeostasis. And this is all actually happening in your brain. And one of the ways also this happens is that there's something known as the BDNF, the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which gets enhanced. When what that is really, like we've already studied and seen this in so many studies. If you go back to when we went to school, like our brain has this capacity of neuroplasticity, creating new neurons. And that is how we shift our beliefs, our old thoughts, especially if we're transitioning out of a relationship and we've been like, perhaps, some people might have been in these patterns or triggering moments, and then you believe that you are that, right? So how do we move from that? So the brain has this capacity to build new neurons, which means we can actually build new beliefs and mindsets. And again, there are various ways to increase that capacity of the BDNF. One of the ways is meditation. And of course, you can also do exercise and fasting and all those kinds of great things, which is why I say that there is never like one, everything works together, your physical, mental, emotional health. But meditation is one of the, easy ways to increase that capacity in your brain. So you can form new neurons, which are going to help you feel more resilient and calm, and also decrease your stress hormone, the cortisol, which Well, you want that to be in like that Goldilocks state, not too high, not too low. So that helps, meditation will help you with that as well.
Yeah, that is fascinating to break it down like that into the science, because again, so many people don't understand or don't want to just believe that, sitting here and breathing and feeling present is going to help them. But those of us who do it and understand it know it works. But that is really great for someone who is more science based to hear that from that perspective. It's just, you can't knock it. It's just what's happening in the brain, what's happening in the body. It's just a whole feel good process.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, yeah. Okay, let's see. How can someone get started with a meditation practice? What would you recommend to those who maybe have tried it and haven't felt that it worked or wasn't successful, or those who have never tried it or those who've never even heard of it? What can you suggest for someone starting a practice?
I think keeping it simple and easy is one of the, ways that one can begin the practice. And then also knowing that if you don't, let's say, start today, 7 minutes, right?
Right.
It's like a very easy goal. And you will perhaps you're like, okay, I'm just going to do 10 minutes. So, but if you put that intention that how do I want to feel at the end of the day? And then you align that goal with that intention, you will somewhere, meet it, either the minimum or you'll exceed it. And then you're, with as any habit, your brain has that capacity. I felt good. I want to do it again. I felt good. I want to do it again, which is to the point that, perhaps you and I are at that stage that, I need it because that's how I feel when I continue this practice. And so just having that intention that, why do I want to do this practice? Like one of the, Zen teachers, Thich Nhat Hanh would say, the way out is in, and it's also like the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your mind. And so we do all these things for our body and our face and the way we dress up, but we forget to invest time and money to sort of do the same thing for our mind. So that's where meditation comes in. So number one is keeping it really simple, mindfulness meditation, where you can either do it with a cup of tea, or you just wherever you're sitting, just close your eyes, or you can even do open eye meditation, and you're just focusing on the sensations in your body. You're focusing on the temperature of your breath. And so that just helps you come in the state of, presence and coherence, which then helps you come out of that fight or flight and, just be like here and now. And even if, like you mentioned, that some people think that, I'm not supposed to think thoughts, and that's natural. And a lot of times I've heard even from clients that I stopped meditating because I was told that I should not think.
Right.
And there are some places where that's how it's taught, but that's not really the practice of meditation. The practice of meditation is to acknowledge and not repress those thoughts. So labeling those thoughts that's a thought. I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah.
And then just coming back and noticing that what is your thought telling you? Perhaps there is something that needs your attention. And so that's when you do your post-meditation integration, where you either journal or you're, okay, maybe I need to have a backup plan for something that's coming again and again. It's an anxiety thought. And so you journal on it, and maybe that's where you need to put your attention later, or maybe not, but just, attending to it.
Yeah.
From a place of gentleness and compassion helps us sort of move forward. So you're not like saying, I'm just going to let it go. No, you're observing the thoughts. You're labeling it. You're perhaps even labeling a sensation in your body. So just like having a friendship with yourself and your thoughts, witnessing what's going on. Because a lot of times we're just going to focus on the tangible, we're going to focus on the goal that we need to do, this task for the day. It's more about what we can act on that will reach a tangible goal. And so we try and ignore some of these things which need our attention more, because then that's where you will lose your focus and productivity, and perhaps even have, other manifestations of stress, which is on your digestion or your hormones, because the quality of your mind affects the quality of your breath, and the quality of your breath can even affect your hormones and your digestion. So it's all like connected. So like coming back to the kinds of meditation, one is the mindfulness meditation. Then there is also a guided meditation where you can listen to a phone app and you can listen to a teacher guiding you on, listen to your breath or an anchor. There could be a visualization. There could also be a well-known practice like transcendental meditation, where you work with a teacher and they give you a personal sort of affirmation or mantra, and you do that 20 minutes twice a day. Those are some advanced practices. Then there is well-known loving kindness meditation, which involves you, directing warm, kind wishes to yourself and towards others. So that is increasing self-compassion and compassion for others. So just, fostering that empathy and kindness and compassion, not just towards yourself, but to others, and sending that out. And so there are so many different ways that one can begin. And then the other one is just focusing on your breath, just like counting your inhales and exhales, and knowing that if you spend more time having a longer exhale, and if you're in a place of fight or flight, your limbic system, the amygdala is in that state where it's just like, oh my God, I'm stressed and I'm not breathing well. So that just helps you like calm your breath, and having a longer exhale will help you stay in that parasympathetic system, which is the rest and digest. So breathing can be one simple way that, if you don't want to make it too complex, just close your eyes and focus on your breath, and just, slow it down with an inhale and an exhale for like 5 minutes. And that can be something easy. You can even do it while you're working and transitioning from your workday.
Yeah. So thank you. That was fabulous. You gave so many, and these are some of the questions I get from my clients is, how do I start? How do I do it? So what I like is when you talked about, for example, the cup of tea and how simple that was, just this morning ritual, and just being present with that, and the warmth and the smell and the morning around the sun coming up and whatever it may be. And I love that. And also people who have a hard time maybe just focusing on their breath, they can do the guided meditations. And I think when I first started meditating many years ago, I did some guided meditations, and actually took some classes on, that were guided. And every now and then I go to my yoga studio, they'll do some guided, I'll take a meditation class where the teacher is talking and, using the bowls, and it's very relaxing. So there are so many ways to do it. I also taught somebody who, wanted to focus on the breath, but said she was having a really hard time. And so what I did is I directed her to go to the beach, because we live by the ocean, and sit on the beach and just at first keep her eyes open and watch the tide come in and out, and time her breath with that, because it's just very methodical. And then she worked into closing her eyes and just hearing that and regulating her breath. So there's so many different ways you can do it. And there's anyone can meditate, right? So with all these choices,
right?
Yeah. So
there's also like sound and music.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that you used the ocean, focus on the waves and the sound of the waves.
Yeah. So we're going to have a treat with you in a moment, but first I want you to tell us a little bit about virtual meditation and your role in spreading this newest form of meditation.
Yeah, so virtual reality meditation is, for people who want to sort of, they're very challenged in terms of, all of this that we discussed, and they're like, this is just not going to work for me, and I'm not able to. And perhaps they live in a place where they can't even step out for, a walk in nature. So virtual reality is sort of like that, the synergy between these ancient meditation techniques and technology. So it's an immersive technology, which you have to wear a virtual reality headset to experience it. But what that does is it takes away the challenges of, being like telling your mind what to do, because you're immediately transported to, say, a beach, a full night, or, a lush green forest, and you hear, sound frequencies that are like healing, or you also have the choice between a guided meditation telling you what to do. And so you have an access to an open eye meditation and the benefits of meditation without really thinking that you're meditating. So it's almost like a gamification of meditation, if you will, for the individuals who want to try something different, and they're challenged by just sitting down and, creating this as a routine.
Yeah.
So that is a different way of experiencing the same practice and having the benefits. And, just in 10 minutes, you put on a headset and you are transported and you come out of it and you're like, oh, I can sleep better now.
Yeah. That's such a great way to do it. I know some executives who are very type A, very just go, 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 go. They can't sit still. They can't. And I think they would really enjoy something like that rather than just making themselves sit down and focus, because they have a hard time focusing when they're not doing and moving. And so I love that idea. Yeah. It's a great idea. So, okay, so we're going to do something special, and you are going to take us into a little meditation demo. So I'm excited for that.
Yes.
So yeah,
you're going to do it with me, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do it with you. I am. Lead away.
Okay, so wherever you are, whether you're seated while you're listening to this, as long as you're not driving. Or you're lying down, either you can come to a place of, where you're closing your eyes, or if that's not accessible, you can just have a soft gaze in front of you. And just knowing that comfort is the first step into this practice. So as long as you're feeling at ease and comfort in your position, then we can go ahead. And once you're situated in your seat, whether you're lying down or standing or sitting, just come into that feeling of what is it that you need right now. Setting an inquiry or an intention. What does my heart need right now? And as you're doing that, notice any sensation in your body. Relaxing your jaw, letting your tongue rest on your upper palate. Relaxing the space behind your eyes, the space between your eyes. Relaxing the space in your inner ears. Whether you're seated or lying down, noticing that you're supported by the earth below you, your seat. Perhaps you get a little bit heavier through your spine, down through your legs. And then coming back to an anchor of your choice. So that could be your breath, a sensation in your body, perhaps a sound in the room. The anchor will help you come back to this moment. And if your mind wanders, that's fine. Just say, I'm thinking. And then coming back to your anchor. Simply noticing what's coming and going without judgment. Relaxing your shoulders. And if this feels all right, you slowly come back to your breath, taking a slow inhale and an exhale. Doing that again. Inhale, perhaps for a count of 2. And exhale for a count of 2. And doing that again at your own pace, increasing to a count of 3. And exhale to a count of 3, 2, and 1. And if that feels all right, I invite you to bring one hand to your heart. Notice how the touch of your hand feels on your heart right now. Simply knowing that with this touch, you can offer yourself gratitude and love. Slowing down for a minute and coming back to the space whenever you need to. And then coming back with your hands by your side. Whatever lingering thoughts, perhaps if you want to journal later, they'll be there. Noticing the benefits of this short practice. Whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes. That was really short.
It was, but you know what? It was really, really nice. And I never do that in the middle of the day. So it was relaxing. Wow. I could have stayed there for a long time, obviously, but that was short. And I think it just proves the point that even when you start with a short 7 minutes, like you said, it's beneficial, because I definitely can feel kind of just everything just released a little bit, and the stress of the day and everything just kind of, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. That was wonderful. I love this, and I thank you so much for sharing all of this with the listeners and the viewers, because again, I think the more we share this wonderful, amazing, necessary technique, the more others can learn that it's not something to be afraid of. It's actually something that is really beneficial, and especially when it comes to healing. Yeah. So what was that?
So it's very accessible.
For sure. Definitely. So why don't you let our viewers and listeners know where they can find you if they want any more, information on meditation or any of the wonderful things that you teach, so they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, so you can find me on my website. That's holisticprana, oneword.com. Also on Instagram with the same name, Holistic Prana. You can find my meditations on one of the world's largest meditation app called Insight Timer. You just find me by my name there, Radhika Mukhija. And then if you're interested in trying the virtual reality meditations, that is an app called Higher Prana, Higher Space Prana, and it's available on Meta Quest 3 and 2. So if you have a headset, you can download it there. And just get in touch with me if you need more information on perhaps getting started with a meditation practice.
Thank you. That is so wonderful. We'll put all that information up on the screen for the YouTube viewers. And if anyone needs further information, you can also reach out to me and I can connect you with Radhika. So thank you, Radhika. This has been wonderful. And maybe we'll have to have you back to dive even deeper one day into this. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.